Let's dive in. For those of you who are very familiar with me, I like to go all in into a teaching about midterm rentals. But you know what? Over the course of this year, I've received so many questions about other strategies for hosting and other strategies for acquisition. I do have a bone to pick with our current economic and our current real estate climate right now. And my goal is to always serve members of our community at the highest possible level. And in order to do that, we want to ensure that we are leveraging access to the information and to the expertise that we have, that we are as I would say as inclusive as possible to helping those who are looking to change the trajectory of their lives through real estate investing. And sometimes it's going directly to the strategy that I know works the absolute best. And other times it's actually taking a baby step. I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. I'm super proud to share with you all my Profit Without Ownership Masterclass, where I will be sharing with you the 4 essential secrets to mastering luxury midterm rental arbitrage. And we are using the homeowner's insurance strategy. I've got a lot to cover. I want to make sure that you get the most value out of our session. I want to show you how you can make the ultimate shift from being sidelined in today's real estate market, where either high interest rates or budgetary constraints can hinder your ability to own property. I want to show you how to make the shift from that to thriving with luxury midterm rental arbitrage. Now, this isn't just a workaround, but a strategic stepping stone. It's going to give you a practical way to start reaping real estate rewards now while paving the path for future property ownership. When it comes to finding properties that are available on the market for mid-term rental arbitrage or for arbitrage in general, it depends on the market, I want to introduce to you a different concept. This is my 5-minute effortless estate extractor. Believe it or not, one of the number one places that we are extracting a lot of our data from is Zillow. And for those of you who are realtors in the house, you have a leg up to the rest of us who are not realtors. It just takes a few minutes, about 5 minutes, to extract this information from Zillow. And let me show you the step-by-step process. The first thing I want you to do is go ahead and do a search on Google for Chrome extensions. And once you get to the page where the Chrome extensions are listed, I believe it's like the Google Play Store or something to that effect. Type in the word Zillow Scraper, and you're looking for an application that looks like this. You want to go ahead and install this extension to your computer. Now, as I walk you through this process step by step, definitely try this at home. That pretty much is it. That sums it up. You now have the extension installed, but here's how we can put it to use. Go to Zillow, enter in any city that is for rent based on your buy box filters. You enter your city. I go really strategic for the insurance strategy. There are specific states, cities, property size, bathroom count, all of those things that I look for in a property that is for rent. If I'm looking to stand up a property really quick, I enter my city and I fill out all of my filters that I need in order to really hone in what my buy box is. Whatever I'm willing to buy is what I'm willing to rent, essentially. Select for rent, then I go into the bed, bath, and then from there, you want to go ahead and identify your extensions and you want it to be pinned to the top up here. Once you select that extension, you see all of these properties here that are like in the purple. You can go ahead and click on, I'll show you, start extracting, and then you can export 25 of them for free. And once you have extracted that, here's the interesting part. Now it places all of the property on an Excel spreadsheet for you. And that is important. That is one of the very first steps in how we're able to quickly find and identify properties and take down properties via arbitrage for our insurance clients if our property is fully booked. There you have it, my friend. This is a quick and free and easy way to extract properties out of Zillow that meet your specific criteria. Now we celebrate because now you have a really easy and free way to get that information going so that you can start your process of outreach in order to get that property furnished within 72 hours to get your midterm rentals guests into that particular property. I have a bunch of free 30-second trainings lined up for you. Tag me on social media and I'm happy to give you a follow back. One thing you'll learn inside of my circle is that, like it or not, social media is a very important tool if you're looking to make sure that your property stays fully booked all the time. Dear friends, all right, let's dive in. All right, breaking news. We're back, baby. The homeowners insurance industry saw a surplus of $1.03 trillion in 2021. And I truly believe that hosting midterm rental guests is a huge underserved market. And I really don't think anyone is really talking about it to the extent that we are. You all are on the cusp, you're on the forefront. And I believe the best people to take advantage of it are burnt out, busy professionals. I love me some medical professionals because that is where I come from, who are really wanting to invest in real estate and wanting to buy back their freedom. I want to talk to you about an acquisition strategy that is a little bit different than what we talked about in the past, but the foundation of leveraging the strategy, it is still the midterm rental TAR. I'm going to share with you guys a few people that have gone before you. They know what I'm going to teach you today. They already know it. And they've used that to propel them forward to leverage real estate in a different kind of way and to serve this particular guest avatar. But at the end of the day, I don't want you to think anything else other than if they can do it, you can do it too. I want to start off with Michael Crockett. He is an Air Force veteran. He has two midterm rental properties. They're four-bedroom homes. He acquired them via the arbitrage method, which is a rent for rent model. He was able to host his first midterm rental insurance guest. They both were due to water damage. And both bookings came at the same time, two different families. The insurance compensated him $87,114 for two properties for 3 months of bookings. His monthly rent was $26.75 for one and $23.90 for another. And his location was around the Sacramento market, north of Sacramento, California. And this is no cold calling, just using the strategy that we teach in the program. If he can do it, you can do it too. Next, we have Vivian Yip. Vivian used to work for Apple, and she now runs a midterm rental business where she's leveraging her properties as well as properties for others and helping them market those properties. This is her very first midterm rental booking. It was $18,510. It's a three-bedroom, two bath. She's helping a family out who has been impacted by fire. Again, if Vivian can do it, you can do it too. Ruben Kanya, he is one of our very first members of our community. His very first guest was impacted by a water pipe that burst. That happens all the time, believe it or not. His monthly mortgage is $2,300. This particular booking yielded him a total of $63,400. If he can do it, you can do it too. Our very next individual is Veronica out of LA, Los Angeles, California. This one is an quote unquote, she calls it an accidental booking, but understanding the strategy, she was able to help someone who was encountering this potential deal, help them through the process. They made $33,000 for their very first booking. She came up to me at Bigger Pockets Con in Orlando to tell me the story, and she was able to pocket $10,000 from ushering them through this entire process using our information, our content, which is absolutely amazing. The disaster type, unfortunately, is a water leak that happened in a skylight on the property that seeped all into the property and just the property's down to the studs. So from that perspective, we know that this property is going to be booked for longer than the 3 months that it's currently booked. If she can do it, you can do it too. And last but not least, we have Ziana McIntyre. She is a real estate investor and author of the best-selling book 30 Days Stay. She had been teaching about a midterm rental leveraging the traveling nurse strategy. And once she heard about the insurance space, she joined our community, took our trainings, and was able to get her very first booking for 25K. Her mortgage is 3,000 a month. This is for fire damage. And again, if Ziana can do it in Denver, Colorado, you can do it too. All of these people that I just shared with you, they already know what I'm going to teach you today. And using the strategies that they were taught, it springboarded them into the next level in their real estate investing. My point is, you are exactly where you need to be. And if they can do it, you can do it too. You're in the right place if you're excited about creating a luxury rental portfolio that can earn you five, six, or even seven figures per year. And generating that amount of money will allow you to stop missing out on life, weddings, special getaways, milestone trips, and other opportunities. Or maybe this is you. You're ready to cut back on your W-2 or private practice hours so you can spend more time doing the things you love with the people you love the most. Or maybe this is you. You're frustrated, but determined to getting started with real estate now. You're wanting to position your strategy so that your investments can stand out from the crowd and maximize profit. And adding just one luxury midterm rental to your portfolio can generate an incredible amount of revenue for you month after month. Let me know which one of these resonates with you the most. Number one, excited about the earning potential. Number two, you're wanting to go part time or leaving the W-2 behind. Or number three, you're frustrated, but you are determined to getting started now. I am ready to get started. One, two, or three. Let's see. Okay, I'm getting a lot of one. I'm getting a lot of two. I'm getting a lot of three. Okay. Wow, the threes are coming in hot. Hey, Miss Cheryl. Oh my goodness, I love it. Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes we need a little bit of frustration, right? To get us that little kick that we need to get moving. Whatever your reason for being here, here, right now, know that I fully support you. So I'm just gonna take a minute to introduce myself if we haven't yet met. My name is Rachel. I have 2 boys. This is my husband, Jesse. He worked with at-risk youth at the Atlanta public school system. Now he manages our property. He's fully retired. My boys are in high school and middle school, Ethan and Lukey. And these are our pups, Peggy, Dash, and Grasshopper. I'm a pharmacist by training. And if you look closely at this picture, this is a Netflix filming at our luxury midterm rental. They were able to fly us out to Albuquerque, New Mexico to complete the filming of a show that's streaming right now on Netflix. But it wasn't that long ago, guys. I was this baby pharmacist on the struggle bus, just fighting for my life. I was born in Haiti, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. I was raised in Miami, worked my fingers to the bone, got the doctorate. I really wanted to make an impact and make a difference and really not take my parents' sacrifices in vain. But sadly, that came with a lot of student loans, like nearly $500,000 in student loans. But Jesse and I, we were not gonna back down, took on extra shifts. Between the 2 of us, juggled 5 jobs at one point. It was complete madness. But step by step, we chipped away at the debt, and somewhere along the journey, I found myself shifting from being a Dave Ramsey follower, to a bigger pockets girl. And then in 2018, we took the leap of faith into our very first luxury short-term rental investment. And oh my goodness, totally skyrocketed our net worth. And at that point, we dove headfirst into the real estate investing game because that completely flipped the switch for our lives. But I would say the catalyst for us wanting to make this massive shift was I was working a night shift at a local pharmacy store. And this particular store had me working 7 on, 7 off. And so 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., I was on rotation. It was that usual 12-hour shift, the one where you end up working 14 hours because you walk into 400 prescriptions in the queue. And to make matters worse, we had 2 technicians that called in sick, leaving us completely understaffed the entire week. The drive-through was wrapped around the building, the phone was ringing off the hook, and we were missing some unrealistic metrics. Needless to say, I was more than ready to take my 7 days off. But the next day, I got the call from the pharmacy manager, and this was really a call that I feel was a catalyst and changed my life forever. My heart was pounding when I heard Tony, the store manager, detail out the events of the previous night. The image of my partner, who's a fellow pharmacist at the pharmacy, being held at gunpoint was seared into my mind. The gunman demanded OxyContin, and my partner had to get him out of the safe. And it was that kind of thing that you only see in movies, but this was real life. As I hung up the phone, I realized that my life could have ended just like that. And for what, really? A company that didn't value me as a human being. It was a wake-up call that shook me to the core. To the company, we're just replaceable cogs in a machine, and that was my defining moment. I knew I had to take action. I couldn't keep living a half life working for someone else's dream. It was time for me to create my own reality, and that is exactly what I did. Fast forward to today, in just a few short years, our journey has been nothing short of amazing, going from burnt out and overworked to being a sought after keynote speaker, an international best-selling author, respected leader in the real estate world, being featured in Forbes, invited to multiple platforms and conferences, and getting our name dropped at events with Sir Richard Bronson, where they continue to recommend our programming to help those who are helping others in a very philanthropic way. This is one of our clients, Hector Guadalupe, who was a CNN hero back in 2021. We are putting our money where our mouth is, really, because at the end of the day, I found that my passion lies in altruism, being able to help women go through med school in Haiti, building sustainable orphanages in Bolivia and in Haiti, helping high school young ladies in the inner city learn about real estate and supporting foundations on affordable housing throughout middle America. My husband and I do love to travel. We explore a new place every single month, and this really keeps our life invigorating. But I push for higher returns on our real estate investing. My goal is to ensure that every single property that me or members of our community invested are able to give them these higher returns so that they could build a life that they don't need to a vacation from. I never would have imagined not practicing pharmacy any longer because you don't go into medicine or healthcare to stop doing that. But this is where I'm at. This is what brings me joy. I'll keep doing this until that changes. That's what freedom looks like for me, but it's very individualized. But here's what I really want on the real estate front. I'm going to teach you today my 4 secrets to creating a luxury midterm rental arbitrage portfolio With 22 midterm rentals under my belt that we own, arbitrage, and manage, I've had the great pleasure of helping 268 students launch their very own insurance midterm rentals using a variety of strategies and creating six-figure revenue streams with just one or two properties without having to deal with the revolving door of guests and stressful turnovers. Net revenue was 1.2 million by the end of 2022. So when it comes to creating and launching an insurance midterm rental via the arbitrage method, I know what works, and you better believe I know what doesn't, and that is why I'm excited to teach you today. 72% of our business revenue comes from our rentals. I say no to the projects that drain me and yes to the projects that light me up. Can you imagine what it would feel like if you only said yes to the people that light you up, to the projects that light you up, to the bookings, to the partnerships, to the work shifts that light you up? Give me a yes in the chat. Dallas says yes. Tanya says yes. I love it. If you're anything like me, you wanna know exactly where you are going, I'm gonna give you a roadmap and essentially our agenda for today's talk. Number 1, we're gonna talk about leveraging the midterm rental strategy using rental arbitrage. From there, we're gonna talk about selecting profitable properties. We say no more than we say yes. From there, we're gonna be talking about self-managing your midterm rental property, whether it's local or remotely. From there, we're gonna talk about how to market your property to your high-end midterm rental avatar, and that's gonna require understanding what their unique needs are as well as your unique preferences. And from there, if you find this information to be helpful and you wanna take the next steps, I'll let you know exactly how you can work with me. All right, my friends, creating a profitable midterm rental insurance portfolio is one of the most powerful and strategic ways to make an impact while growing your income and freedom to life-changing levels. Secret number 1, leveraging midterm rental wealth, rental arbitrage strategies. What I love about the arbitrage method is you're able to leverage this method and launch your property quickly and launch it in a more economic fashion. We're gonna talk about that initial investment that's needed. One of the things that I love about this strategy is I get to date the property before I purchase it, date before you buy, and it's definitely a great way to answer to an immediate need. How did this come about? Many of that I am all in on property ownership. That is my absolute favorite. However, I received the inquiry from a gentleman named Jesus. When Jesus reached out to me, Jesus said he was willing to pay a premium. If you can see it right in here, pay a premium on top of rent and compensation, right? When he reached out to me, unfortunately, I didn't have any properties available. I went to those in my community who have midterm rentals. I reached out to them first and asked them, "Hey, do you have any availability?" And they stated no. Instead of telling Jesus, "No, we have no availability," I always tell members of my community to lead with yes. The answer is yes, and then figure it out later. For me, figuring it out meant that I actually needed to figure out how to get this family into a property because it's not every day you get someone stating we would be willing to pay a premium on top of my current rent. And the current rent was quite high already, because if you know anything about me, I am looking to, generate as much revenue as possible. And what Jesus found was that the way that our property was set up, it would meet the need of this family. It matters the type of property, it matters how it's set up, because that determines how much revenue you are able to generate. I have a community of over 200, midterm rental hosts who all are not getting paid the same because of where they're located, the way the property is set up, the configuration of the property, the design of the property. No two midterm rental hosts are created equal. It truly matters. When I see the word premium, I prefer premium over preferred. I get a lot of people asking me, "Hey, are you a part of this midterm rental temporary housing agency preferred list?" I'm not preferred because when I work with the preferred individuals, and you guys might want to make a note of this, when I work with the preferred individuals, I find that they prefer to pay me less. I don't want to be preferred. I want someone approaching me with premium pricing. Just say no to preferred. We may end up working with preferred using a different business model, but when you see individuals shooting for preferred, that's not going to be a good fit for me and what my strategy is because they prefer to pay me less. And what I want is premium pricing because I want to provide them a luxury traveler experience. And the luxury travel experience, the beauty of it is it does not have to break the bank. For those of you who are realtors in the house, note this. I'm not talking about luxury property, I'm talking about luxury experience. When it comes to hospitality, it's all about convenience, connection, and communication when you're providing the luxury travel experience. Those are my 3 C's. But if you want to get a little bit more tactile, feel free to snap a photo of this. The luxury traveler experience starts with the guest communication. The arrival, it's all about the journey. It's not just the destination. The journey matters to them as well. Keyless entry, king size bed is the default traveler's luxury bed, natural fiber linens. I'm not going to bullet you to death, but this is what we're offering. And that's why we are able to demand a premium price. This is a great example of a midterm rental property. Again, not a luxury $1 million property, but we're able to demand a premium because the value proposition that we're able to offer in this particular property. Economy stay typically is your most affordable options. The rates may range anywhere from $50 to $150. And this is going to be very much depending on location and amenities. West Coast versus East Coast, those prices are different. So economy is 50 to 150, mid-range is 150 to 300, upscale is 500 and under. Luxury is 500 to 1,000. This is where we like to live with our pricing. However, a lot of members of our community are anywhere from upscale to luxury. This is where they live. And just it's rare, but just a few of our properties are in the ultra luxury. And again, it depends. Excuse me. It depends. I've seen ultra luxury, very high nightly rates, even more elevated than this, but it doesn't have to break the bank when you're looking to work with individuals or corporations whose pockets are deep, or when you're leveraging a number of seasonality parameters, such as this portfolio that we have in the Poconos that was able to hit multiple six figures with 10 properties, purchase price of 175,000 to 390,000. They were able to generate over $200,000 in just 1 month. When I encountered that, I started to do a bit more digging to compile where is it that we're seeing more and more of these types of numbers, whether it's short-term rentals or midterm rentals. That's going to be really important. I encountered a friend of mine, Alex Sabio, who's a respiratory therapist. Two of his properties in the Tennessee market were able to generate $50,000 in 1 month. Very impressive. Small doors equals huge profits. It doesn't really matter the number of doors that you have, it's the quality of the doors. And I'm going to continue to beat that drum again and again because this is a midterm rental that's able to generate anywhere from $9,000 to $16,000 per month, five-figure bookings. And this is not an ultra luxury house. This is not your grandmother's luxury with the gold plated toilets or anything like that. This is a typical house for a luxury midterm rental. It's a ranch. It has amenities that others aren't able to compete with. And again, it's not your typical amenities that you would consider. But when it comes to hosting, there are four ways that you can host. You can be a landlord owner, where you purchase a property and furnish it. You can leverage an arbitrage strategy. You can leverage a co-hosting strategy, or you can join a fund if you meet the SEC requirements. Let's talk a little bit about the landlord owner strategy, and we're gonna break it all down on a table that we created for you. So again, the landlord owner, you own the property, you purchase it from there. A lot of the pros that I see with the strategy is you have cash flow as well as appreciation, equity. There's tax efficiencies. You have bonus depreciation, debt pay down, leverage, and the cost of entry is going to be a bit of a challenge for many people. But the ROI is the highest, has the potential to be the highest. But acquisitions can be variable because although it's a higher initial investment, I do know some who are able to take control of property leveraging a creative methodologies. My good friend Laura from GoBundance, she actually leverages her properties as midterm rentals. But guess what? These are properties she purchases. This is her YouTube channel of 1.35 million. She purchases murder houses. She does crime scene cleaning. And some of these houses, the families may not want to do anything with them anymore. She does purchase these murder houses. That is a creative way of acquiring those properties. And one of the creative acquisition teachers out there, one of the most popular ones is Pace Morby. And Pace also leverages his creative finance properties and reach out to me, had his team reach out to me on midterm rental strategy as well using insurance. He'll use his sub two properties, which may not make sense the numbers may not make sense to leverage sub two if you're going to go long term rental, but he may leverage it as a midterm rental using the insurance policyholder strategy. And this is Noah here, who is his property manager for a lot of his properties at one of our midterm rentals, just doing some training and taking pointers on how to set up the properties for PACE. From there, we have the rental arbitrage methodologies. The rental arbitrage is where you are able to take control of a lease and then you rent it out. And the difference is where you profit. The pro of that is the cost of entry. It's a lower investment typically. It does involve some risk, but it's a lower investment. And then your cash flow is almost immediate, depending on how you're able to furnish and how much you put into it. The cons are, of course, you don't get all of that equity or tax efficiency. Co-hosting, that's where you're managing or partnering with property owners and managing for them and sharing the profits. So the pro is you really have no entry costs. You're not going to pay to get started, right? You may have some technology costs, but yeah, you don't really have to worry about an initial investment. But the con is you don't have equity. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes if you are working with the wrong individual, it can sink your ship because that individual may be a little bit too involved. You really don't want a ton of people all up in your business, especially the homeowner. Having a good understanding of who that homeowner is going to be the key to ensuring that you're able to operate your business in a way that serves you and you're not walking into a situation where you just hired yourself on another boss. That's my pet peeve. And Veronica, this is exactly what she did. She said she picked up an insurance client by following our advice. And this was a co host client, which was amazing for her. And if you guys know Annette and Sarah, they have a podcast called Thanks for Visiting, and they talk a lot about co-hosting. And last but not least, passive investment funds. And these are for real estate investors who are just completely hands off. They're just too busy and they meet certain criteria, which is not always easy to meet in order to invest. Typically, the startup cost is about 25,000 or 50,000. I've seen $1 million to start up. It depends on the fund. We actually leverage all four of these strategies, by the way, guys. But we have a fund and the starting out cost is 50K. The ROI, I would say, could be high, but it's also very high risk. That is why it's important to be an accredited investor. You can fully understand the impact that it would have on your bottom line. Fund is essentially a group of investors pulling money together to invest in a variety of vehicles. It could be stocks or bonds or real estate or other financial instruments. And the purpose of the fund is really to help people to diversify their money and leverage a professional person to manage their investment so that they don't necessarily have to worry about learning the ropes if they choose. I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't talk about furnishings, but first I do want to go over like a comparison chart for you guys. The four ways to invest. We're talking all things arbitrage today, but ownership, of course, you own. You have ownership stake in the property if you're a landlord owner. Same if you're in a passive investor. Equity, you have that with ownership, cash flow. All of the all strategies have cash flow, but they do vary. Now, as far as tax benefits, you have the most tax benefit if you're a landlord owner or passive investor. But as it relates to leverage, you're able to leverage whether it's somebody else's revenue, somebody else's time. Arbitrage, you're able to leverage someone else's property. Debt pay down, you don't really have any debt pay down. You don't have debt, so to speak, with the arbitrage method. Now, how much money is required to get started? And that's what I love about rental arbitrage. You don't require as much revenue to get started with arbitrage as you do with the other methodologies, unless you're using a really, I would say, low percentage down loan from a lender, but arbitrage is one of the lowest ways to get started. As far as responsibility, the most responsibility comes with the landlord owner, not much with arbitrage or co-hosting, and passive investing, not so much there as well. When it comes to risk, the higher risk strategy are the landlord owner as well as the passive investing. If the investment does not go well, those who are impacted are the ones in that ownership position. Liquidity. Now, this is what I love the most about the rental arbitrage model. You can become the most liquid quicker because you're able to invest at a lower cost of entry. Furnishing responsibility lands on the owner and the arbitrager. Control over the property is about the same for the landlord, owner, and the arbitrager. The rental income potential is about the same for the landlord, owner, and passive investor. Passive investor is a little bit less, but the rental income potential for landlord owner is higher because you have the tax vehicles that you can leverage. A rental arbitrage, it really depends. We have seen some great numbers in our community with rental arbitrage using the MTR insurance strategy, but I have seen a lot of people lose a lot of money on arbitrage as well. Buyer beware. And the time commitment is about the same for all strategies, with the exception of passive investing. Really, there's no time commitment with passive investing, just a little bit to fill out some forms and receive your K1s or request those. When it comes to midterm rentals, I'm always looking for markets that are within 30 minutes from an airport or specified industry or a hospital, university, or a hotel because I can serve my midterm rental insurance individuals as well as a variety of other secondary midterm rental avatars. For me, it's all about the return on energy, not just my return on investment. And I love leveraging the midterm rental insurance strategy so much that I was able to We selected to publish an article on Bigger Pockets called Temporary Housing, Another Secret STR Strategy. Here's what we know about the midterm rental insurance strategy. Disasters displaced more than 3 million Americans in 2022 alone. And this is according to Scientific American. And these are individuals who are in need of furnished housing. And I do know that ALE Solutions, which is the number one temporary housing agency in North America at the moment, they're looking for both furnished and unfurnished housing, which really puts our members in an amazing position to get started with their arbitrage strategy. 80% of our guests who come to rent from us are encountering some type of man-made damage or man-made disasters, such as water damage primarily or fire damage. And then the other 20% are due to a natural disasters such as wildfire or lightning or hurricane or tornado. So the majority are due to man-made claims. And the 7 phases of the insurance framework includes, first of all, they would encounter a disaster, and from there, they're displaced from their homes. They need a place to stay quickly. That's where their insurance steps up to cover temporary living expenses under their loss of use coverage, also known as Coverage C. From there, they're placed in a hotel for a few nights stay. However, they need a real solution. And this is where we come in with homes that are equipped and designed with these avatars in mind. From there, they will book for 30 days and then ask to extend. And then finally, when their home is fully booked, fully renovated, they're able to move back into their home. This is Marcella. She just got her very first midterm rental booking in Columbus, Ohio. We have Chris. She is a newly minted super host. She leverages a hybrid midterm rental and short-term rental strategy. And this is her home that is using midterm rentals for both insurance as well as military. This is another member of our community, Leisha, just got her very first booking, $24,000 for her first booking, and she's able to net $4,700 per month. This is Tony. She's a realtor. She stated that, you know what? While I'm waiting on this permit for my client, let me go ahead and set it up as a midterm rental. And she got $6,000 for her client while waiting to set it up and get the permit going. I went to Breckenridge, Colorado, and I had the opportunity to speak with these beautiful people about our midterm rental strategy. I got this message from Michael Crockett where he shared his midterm rental story. He provided them immediate and complete response using the proposal form. And so he was able to leverage 2 properties via arbitrage into a midterm rental arbitrage property. And I couldn't be more excited. Let's go back to Jesus and let's talk about this particular deal. When Jesus told me again that he's willing to pay a premium, I asked Jesus about a particular number that I was interested in getting paid for all of my trouble, and Jesus agreed to it. And so I was able to find a property in our community where this family needed a home that I was able to lease. I reached out to the landlord on this rental and asked the landlord, "Hey, do you have an opening for this property so that I can lease it for 18 months?" And he agreed to allow me to lease it for 18 months. After, of course, I showed up at the property, and I do have an entire process, a conversation, a framework, a step by step to getting the yes. And nevertheless, I do have quite a bit of credibility in our community. And this is what we build for members of our community as well, as credibility is key. So I had a ton of credibility. So for the landlords, it was an immediate yes because of that credibility and because of the process that we walked them through. The lease was for 18 months. The rent is $26.50 per month. Our starting cost was $79.50 just for initial rent and deposits. We launched the property in 72 hours because I did have furniture and storage, and I was paid $16,000 per month for 13 months, whopping multiple 6 figures for this 4-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom property. And this is when I knew that we were onto something. I knew that if we're ever in a position where we needed to launch a property quickly, effectively, and we're actually in communication now because we're dating the house, we are liking the revenue we're able to generate from it, and we're putting in an offer to purchase. So you date before committing to purchase. There is nothing wrong with that. With that being said, have you guys had the opportunity to host an insurance policyholder client? Give me a 1 in the chat if you received an inquiry. Who here has had this policyholder book the property? Give me a 2 in the chat if you received the booking, and give me a 3 in the chat if you were able to get close to your short-term rental rate for that booking. And for those of you who haven't responded, take a look at the chat. Just take a moment so you can look at the chat because this is the biggest gap that we are seeing is we are seeing increase, but not everyone is getting booked, nor are they getting booked at close to their short-term rental rate, unfortunately. I see Michael is actually going down the funnel, which is awesome. But if you're not getting booked or getting booked close to your short-term rental rate, that is why I'm here, and that is the gap. And the goal is we want to close that gap today. Secret number two, selecting profitable properties. Next up, we look at a variety of AI resources to find out where are the best markets to invest in midterm rentals, leveraging the arbitrage strategy. However, one of the biggest factors to standing out from the crowd is to actually leverage properties that are not as similar to both properties that are available. The insurance, the first place that they go to when they're looking for a home is oftentimes large chain apartments. They're already having agreements with these apartments and they will go there first. And once they go there, they're able to find a studio that's available potentially, a one bedroom that's available, or a two bedroom that's available. Let me tell you what they're not gonna find. They're not gonna find a four-bedroom or a five-bedroom that's available in a REIT or one of these, chain apartments, right? That is one of the key indicators of why we're able to demand however many dollars that we're able to demand. Because a lot of our competition, they're doing a short-term rental, midterm rental arbitrage in these apartments where the apartment, it's like a self-cannibalizing machine, unfortunately. The apartments themselves have contracts with the insurance, and now they're in there looking to take down apartment units, while the apartments get precedent. Keep that in mind because if you're looking for these types of payouts that are five-figure payouts, you need to understand this particular need. And when we're talking about insurance, we're talking all about loss of use. Loss of use is the money you get to rent another property when you can't live in your own property because of damage. It can be fire, which is typical for us, or water damage, which is typical for us, or a fallen tree. And so when we look at loss of use, that is under coverage D on your insurance. And we see that it's about 20 to 30% of the rebuild value for the dwelling space. 25% is the sweet spot. So if the rebuild value of a particular property is $400,000, then 25% of that is $100,000 that is available for that claim, and that's per claim per year. For those of you sitting in the back, I really hope your wheels are turning, and if you're multitasking, come back to me because temporary housing through loss of use is found on your insurance policy. This is a copy of one of my clients' policies. Their rebuild value was $276,000, and their loss of use coverage is $55,200 per claim per year. That's the amount of dollars that are available for them to rent another house. Who would not want to tap into $55,200? It's spelled out right here, loss of use. We want to take advantage of that. We want to find markets and this is how we back into the deal. We reverse engineer this by going into markets that have higher loss of use opportunities. I don't want to go into a market where loss of use is 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. When you have low depreciable assets like I've seen in middle America, that's not going to work, right? Being very focused on the highest revenue properties is going to be the way to leverage that. And these properties, again, do not have to break the bank. These are some of our midterm rental properties. This is a client who stated that the insurance sold them the budget was $4,000, and this is for their midterm rental arbitrage property. But they knew about the percentage, the loss of use rule of 25, and they said, nope, 7,200 is my number, and they got approved. When I went to the SDR Wealth Conference last year, and I'm gonna be there this year, I was invited to speak on this specific strategy and for the insurance policy holder strategy. And this is again more receipts. Chris shared with me an insurance a payout that he received for $29,160 for 70-day stay. How impactful is that? Thank you, Allstate. We have Miss Lakita. She is a nurse for United Healthcare. And what I love about her is, you know what? She ran her business the way she wanted. She overcame some of the standards that even I had. On Wednesday, she listed her property on the platforms that I told her to. On Friday, they reached out to her. She signed it on Monday. They ACH the funds on Tuesday morning. The displaced family moved in to her property on Wednesday. So a 7-day turnaround with 3 months with the option to extend. They ended up staying 6 months and they still were looking on extending. But you know what? She wasn't comfortable with the numbers that I gave her for loss of use. She says, I'm only clearing 4,800 a month, only clearing, guys. But she said she was nervous since it was her first time. She didn't want to push the envelope. She said, I could have gotten more. However, I was satisfied with that since when I did long term rental, we were getting 2,400 gross. She went ahead and put in all of the things, my deposit, the move-in fee, the cleaning fee, the pet fee. Same with Michelle. She is out of town. She was out of town. She's coming back now for 7 months due to being able to get her midterm rental rented for an extended period of time. Ruben, his very first booking was 40K, but they extended and he earned 63,000. And that is from just understanding that the more he's able to make his property available for this clientele, the more they're able to extend. And extend they did. Halfway through his stay, the guest stated the contractors haven't even pulled the permits that we needed. So we fired them and we're starting from scratch. And that is my favorite notice to extend. Ruben is all in. He just purchased a property subject to. He's expanding his portfolio. And his wife, Celine, she was able to take over operations. She was able to kick her fancy NBC job to the curb, and she runs their midterm rental operations business. And Ruben's actually helping us with software to launch for our midterm rental community. Dr. Julia, another rock star in the community. And guys, everywhere you look, members winning $2,400 a week. We have Sophia, an attorney, who says, "Let me stop overthinking things." Her first booking was valued at 91,200. That was in February of this year. By March, we were looking for her short-term rental. May, she had one under contract. She closed in June on this beautiful beach property. It's a condo. This she was able to purchase with 0% down, and it had $30,000 in bookings on day one. And what I love about her, we go through something called our debriefs, where she was able to break down. So when you're with us in a safe space with a caliber of individuals in a private setting, you're able to get answers to these types of questions, whether it's who is the 0% down lender? Who is the exact realtor that she worked with, right? She shared all of the strategies and steps she took to make sure that her dream came true. And as an attorney, she wanted to be very specific and strategic. And all the I's were dotted and all the T's were crossed. She used our realtors, but she was able to find a different lender to leverage this particular strategy. My question to you is, what would you stop doing if you launched a midterm rental that's generating you an extra $5,000 per month in revenue? What would you stop doing? Let me know in the comments. Yep, worrying. I see worrying, working full time. Yes. One of our members says my one midterm rental has paid all of their medical bills off, and plus they have money to do repairs. Let's see in the chat. Stop selling as many houses and just manage my own. Oh, Michelle. We have a realtor in the house. I love it. Linda, vacation more. Enjoy max time with family. I love that. Lori says, I want to save for a down payment for a house for my mom. Hey, girl. Hey, oh my gosh, Lori. We need to connect, woman. Oh my goodness. Kasha says, more family time. Encourages to take care of business. Use profits to buy multifamily home and house hacks. Self-managing, guys. When it comes to self-managing your MTR, it's going to be really important to understanding your numbers, but also understanding how to build this out yourself. You do not have to do it on your own. We spreadsheet out the vast majority of the process, and we outsource 2, 3 team members. And our top 3 team members that you want to leverage are your cleaning team. That is the absolute backbone of your business. Dirty properties are not a vibe. From there, your maintenance team, our maintenance team double as our movers, and they do understand that it's important to immediately remediate issues. And the great thing about midterm rentals and where we're seeing a lot of the cost savings is that immediate is a little bit more relaxed with midterm rentals. We don't have to pay that overnight premium to get the plumber to come in or anything like that. We have a little bit more of a grace period, which has been great, and we've seen the difference in our numbers as well. And virtual assistants serve so many roles in our business, and they take many tasks off of our plates. And that includes even sourcing our properties for arbitrage when we are fully booked. Having the process dialed all the way in, we're able to leverage that as a resource inside of our business as well. Again, it comes with sourcing your top 3 members, and from there, home automation is key. Home automation is where you're leveraging the tools that you need to monitor the asset, because the property is part of the asset. The doorbell camera is one, noise level meter is another, and a keyless door lock is another of our home automation tools that we monitor quite a bit and we leverage in all of our midterm rentals. And when it comes to our hybrid properties that are midterm and short-term rentals, we use these 2 items as our basic hybrid tool stacks, and that is your channel manager, and something like a Guesty is good enough. And we leverage a dynamic pricing tool as well. These are commonly used basic tool stacks for our hybrid midterm short-term rentals. Question for you, do you see how totally doable it can be with the right team, with the right tool stack, and with the right home automation? There's no scenario where I would be able to fix my own plumbing, just like I would call a plumber to come to my house to fix my plumbing. We're leveraging that to manage our properties as well, having that relationship with your maintenance team that they can help you to do a quick replacement of an appliance in your property is huge. I'm getting some yeses. Secret number 4 is marketing to your high-end avatars, and that's identifying your primary as well as secondary ideal guest avatars, understanding their unique needs, understanding their preferences, and developing communication and strategies that are going to resonate with them. Because when it comes to midterm rentals, a lot of people think that travel nurses, that's it, but travel nurses are mythical creatures that short-term rental hosts want to serve until they hear their budget. Their budget is typically $1,600 per month for a two-bedroom luxury home. What we now know is that non-medical traveler types are outpacing medical travel types, insurance, housing falling squarely in the middle of this strategy. We hosted in February SmackDown of STR versus MTR to highlight the different attributes of these strategies by bringing in industry experts to speak on the strategies, and whether it's travel nurses or government contracts or military or relocations, corporate housing, assisted living is a hot topic now. But what we see is that insurance housing falls squarely in the middle of this, and absolutely love this strategy. But having a backup strategy is important too, because my backup strategy is actually the film industry. But that was the primary strategy for a lot of operators here in the greater Atlanta area. They joined our program because they were struggling because of the SAG after strikes. Here's what we know: 28-day stay demand has been here long before COVID, according to Price Labs. So many different sectors that need that 28-day stay. And here's a list of them here. And we're continuing to add to this. And my goal is for you to not only have a primary midterm rental strategy, I want you to have a secondary midterm rental strategy too, to develop your marketing campaign around them, to understanding their pain point, their exact needs, the most common problems that they have, and how you can be that person to solve that problem for them. Not only will you understand how to serve them, it's going to exclude the types of properties that you're looking to acquire because those properties may not serve them well. Who is it that you want to serve? Who is that primary or secondary midterm rental avatar that you think, what? My market may be able to serve this particular avatar, whether it's you're near a military base, some of you are near universities, some of you are near different corporate plants. Let me know in the chat. Who is a guest avatar that you think that you can serve? I'm going to go back to this slide here. Of course, insurance is one, and that's the one I'm going to promote to everyone. But is there a second one you're thinking? Linda's got a list. Who do you want to serve, guys? Who do you think that you can serve in your market? And then we went back to our good old fashioned insurance, and that kept us booked the whole time. Just as I'm in the right place at the right time, we have all of the above where I live, much potential. Yes, but let's keep the communication open because our members in our community are flexible and they want to explore all of the options that are out there. Of course, regulation comes before numbers, guys. If you know anything about me, it's all about I want to make sure that we're operating our business not on sand, but on solid ground. At the end of the day, guys, whatever you select here on this slide here, understanding your guest avatar, and it's something that people skip a lot, but I want you to know, understanding your guest avatar is one of the most effective ways to creating a top performing property that is a luxury midterm rental property. This is one of our midterm rentals for executive guests. The way that we understand them is by having a stand-up desk in the property for them, this having exercise. It really depends. And Solana is a testament of that. She works with individuals who are both insurance clients as well as the film industry in the greater Atlanta area. And she's able to leverage her properties during the in between seasons for TV commercials. Her property is a filming site, and she understands that avatar. She understands their needs, and she's making a killing when it comes to those hourly bookings as well. Vivian, I mentioned her a little bit earlier. She worked for Apple because of how stressful her work life was. She lost all of her hair. She now has launched an amazing midterm rental enterprise where she is referring people to get the education in our community. And again, these are the types of properties that you can purchase or lease as a midterm rentals. I am all in on properties that are performing and in markets that are the top performing markets for midterm rentals. A little bit about me and how we started. Again, we launched our first midterm rental back in 2018. It started as a short-term rental. It quickly turned into a midterm rental when the insurance company reached out. And then AirDNA, as well as a casting company called Mystic Arts, they saw the numbers on the back end, reached out to Netflix and said, "You know what? They want us to be on a TV show." The show launched, and the members of our community that were teaching, on how to get started with short-term rentals, primarily medical professionals, they were ranting and raving about it. They're like, "Wait a minute. What is this midterm rental strategy? What is it? And how can we do it?" And once I started teaching the midterm rental strategy, it was all a buzz. One of our first students, Karima, launched her property and converted to midterm rental, and her very first booking was a water pipe leak, and she said using the strategy, she was able to generate nearly her annual salary as a teacher with that first booking in just 2 months. Her mortgage is $1,300 a month. That booking was $36,804. If there's anything you take away from me today is that you only need 1 or 2 properties that are well positioned, that are highly performing to be wildly profitable. You do not need 100 properties. And as I said in the beginning, for those of you who joined from the start, I started as Dave Ramsey girl, and that quickly turned to Bigger Pockets girl, and learned from the Brandon Turner and got my first property. And then I hired a coach so that I could acquire more properties because it was working. So imagine the full circle moment when Brandon Turner reached out to me to teach his members of his Better Life tribe, since he's no longer with Bigger Pockets per se, but he has a tribe called Better Life. And he teaches his members how to live a better life. And he says that he believes that my midterm rental strategy helps them to fall squarely in the middle of that. What it did for me really, it validated my process. Like the birth strategy that Brandon taught was great and all, but at the end of the day, all of that work and the numbers just did not pan out for me and for my lifestyle in particular, being a mom with a whole husband, 2 boys, and 3 dogs. I had to figure out what was the best and highest use for me and for my talents. Looking forward to seeing him in just a couple of months, guys. Wish me luck. He is interviewing me on his podcast in Maui. And again, my why. One of our members of our community sent this to me, $89,594.38. This is our net profits on our 1 midterm rental from 5/22/22 through 12/20/22. You are changing lives. And their mortgage is $1,700 per month. And I said, "You're an action taker." And they say, "You're a godsend. You gave me the entire blueprint. I don't even know how to begin to repay you." They mentioned some really tragic medical stuff in here. And they state, "And would not be able to stay afloat without this rental." So this is my why. This is my why. And so my question for you is, can you see how powerful this strategy can be for you and for your business? Give me a yes. Linda says yes. Awesome. I love it. For those of you who could really see and you've determined, you know what? I want to launch a midterm rental as my next strategy using the midterm rental arbitrage because that is where I am in my phase of life. And I want to launch it with confidence and with grace and with ease. You can certainly do it on your own. And there are a lot of people teaching short term rental arbitrage and a variety of arbitrage strategies all over the interwebs. But you most likely are going to hunt and peg all over looking for someone who's going to help you to get great results that are in alignment with getting you back not just the ROI, but your ROE, your return on energy, your return on effort. Or we can do it together. I can guide you through it step by baby step, giving you the roadmap that we use in our business. And if you're thinking option number 2 is the right fit for you, it is with great pleasure that I invite you to the Midterm Rental Wealth Arbitrage Academy. The Midterm Rental Wealth Arbitrage Academy founding members is the only training of its kind that shows busy professionals, real estate investors, hosts, landlords, and realtors exactly how to reposition your rental strategy to attract high-end insurance clients so that you can generate consistent revenue month after month through high value bookings without owning the property. Here's what you'll put into action within 30 days. You will learn how to master your market. This is where we're going to pinpoint the top real estate markets using data to ensure the best investment choices for your arbitrage property. Prime property selection here. So we have to be really specific about our buy box, and our buy box equals our lease box in this particular scenario. Sealing the deal. We're going to leverage proven negotiation strategies to secure the yes from the landlord. Crafting your dream team. Gather a group of experts that you need to partner alongside you for your business, along with your top cleaners, your top maintenance people, and virtual assistants. And this team can be both leveraged remotely and managed and procured on a budget. Budget savvy designs transform your property into an irresistible living space without breaking the bank. Proactive risk management. Here we're talking about strategies to mitigate financial exposure. Yes, there's always a cycle when it comes to real estate as well as market volatility, but we can prepare for it and identify what the risks are ahead of time and protect our hard earned dollars. Smart business structuring, everything dealing with business entity setup, implementing those techniques and working with those professionals to make sure that we are establishing a business that is in alignment with your business goals, as well as your legal efficiency and tax optimization. Oftentimes, we see the legal experts and the tax experts kind of butt heads, but we want to make sure that we are setting up our business in a win win situation. Pre-marketing prowess. This is one of my absolute favorites. I teach you how to implement innovative pre-marketing techniques to build some buzz and some hype around your property and get that demand going even before you launch your property. And so I'm so excited to offer this one-time opportunity that is exclusive for founding members. Right now, for a limited period, you have the chance to join us with this unique invitation. It's going to be something new, and we are leading the way in this innovative journey. So, no one is teaching about midterm rental arbitrage, leveraging whole homes, whole properties, and this groundbreaking content will have you in the front row seat at our live virtual sessions. And in addition, you have the opportunity to engage in Q&A sessions at the end of each segment. So sign up now. And we start class January 15th, 2024. So this will be our very first live inaugural delivery. If you can't join us live, no worries. We have unlimited replays available for you. And as a founding member, not only you benefit from special pricing, you'll also get lifetime access to the core content. You're not just getting what's available once we've launched, you are also entitled to all future updates as well. So don't worry about any prerequisites. There are none. Just sign up, join us. But you do have to act quickly because the number of seats is limited and they are already filling up fast. Do not miss out on this once in a lifetime opportunity. Enroll now and step into a future of learning and growth. No need to mark your calendar for the next in-person event at this point. It will be our virtual online course. That's when we kick off. You will not have to step foot outside of your door or hop on a plane on a long trip to Park City, Utah, or Destin, Florida, is where we usually hold our amazing meetings. This time, we're bringing all of this live learning goodness straight to you in an online format. And then the replays will be on demand so you can watch them as much as you want. So with our academy, you will get access to game-changing content. We'll start off with making some key decisions. Next, we'll dive into the best markets, negotiating to getting that yes, building your team, irresistible property setup, and risk mitigation. I just want you to imagine kicking off your day with getting a buzz on your phone, another awesome booking for your rental. But this time it's an insurance client looking for a comfy 3-month stay. Now, I don't want you to just sit back and think to yourself, oh man, I'm fully booked, or I don't know anyone who has a property that's available. I want you to jump on it because our quick strategy has got you covered. We teach you how to snag a rent ready property in just 72 hours and boom, you're in. So, with our strategy, you're not just another host. You are that savvy pro who knows how to lock in these amazing rates with the insurance clientele with just a quick proposal sent over, a nod, and a handshake. So if you're ready to dive in, the MTR Arbitrage Academy total value is $69.97. Now, it wouldn't be an amazing program without some extra special bonuses, starting with bonus number 1. Design bundle resources. This is your opportunity to elevate your property design with expertly curated bundles. Now, I have worked with a number of designers to create a complete 3-bedroom, 2-bath package for just $12,500. And that's going to cover all of your furniture, decor, kitchen, and bathroom essentials. And we have upcoming bundles that they are designing for us for 4 bedrooms and 5-bedroom setups as well. So those are in the works. In addition to that, I have a step-by-step do-it-yourself hands-on guide for those who are not quite designers, who are new to design, but they want to do it themselves. And so the flexibility of creating this was for you to have access to that information yourself. And outside of the top 4 vendors that I recommend, I also have some vendors that we recommend for rental furniture. So you get to explore some options out there if you're in a pickle to rent out furniture for yourself. I don't recommend this because at the end of the day, it's not the most cost effective, but if you're in a pickle, it may be what you need right then and right there. The value of this bundle is way beyond $9.97, but we've placed it at $9.97 for now. Listen, I want you to know that I am not extra special. I don't have access to exclusive experts that you don't have access to or extra resources that you don't have access to. But I do have a proven roadmap that I follow every single time I go to launch a midterm rental via the arbitrage method. And that roadmap is what I will be teaching inside of the Midterm Rental Arbitrage Academy. Bonus number 2. When I said hold on to your pearls, I meant hold on to your pearls. Bonus number 2 is the infamous MTR Insurance Network, my dear friends. Okay, so transform your future with our A to Z blueprint. So the MTR Insurance Network is a comprehensive program that teaches you how to set up your property, communicate with potential guests, set up your calendars, get your pricing together, get booked with grace and ease, master all of the nuances inside of the midterm rental insurance strategy, leveraging the MTR Insurance Workshop content. So this is a self-paced on-demand course. You will get access to it immediately. And so I want you to picture this: immediate access, all of our templates, coaching calls associated, website feature. You get access to an amazing community of members so that you're not out here getting inquiries where others are telling you to go ahead and offer a huge discount. Oh my gosh. No, I want you to get responses that are high value like this. I believe this section in the lease provided and the course covers it. This is a member responding to another member. These are real conversations. And this is what happens inside of our exclusive MTR Insurance Network, valued at $49.97 if you go to purchase it today. Many of our members have purchased it this past week. It is at $49.97. It's valued for more than that, but it is on sale for $49.97. Bonus number 3, our exclusive MTR rental templates package for credibility and accountability for arbitrage. These are ready to use agreements that are drafted by my attorney. These are tailor made for my midterm rental business. Just copy and paste, have your attorney look at it as well. But I wanted to share with you what I'm currently using in my business to save you time and to save you a lot of hassle. I use my templates, leases, addendums, letters that we send out, accountability checklist, negotiation, transcripts. Communicating effectively with the potential landlord is key. Really, really high powered resource guide that we have put together just for you so that you can hit the ground running. Is valued at $29.97. This will empower you to get into business with the right tools, with the right strategies, knowing what to say and how to say it. Bonus number 4, 3 months of coaching and support. Oh my goodness. These are 3 fresh months of coaching and support outside of the workshop. The workshop has 9 coaching sessions. Arbitrage has 18 group coaching sessions. Okay. And so this is absolutely amazing. You get an opportunity to gain insights from not just yours truly, but also from other coaches. We have legal real estate attorney that's a coach in our program. We have a business entity set up, tax strategist that is coaching in the program. We have operations coach in the program, pricing coach, and so on and so forth. So cannot wait for you to engage within the community and join us for these amazing coaching calls with these industry experts to give you some personalized support in these group coaching sessions. You will also be featured on our amazing website because my goal is to align your property with a platform, the only coaching program that has a brand that's been featured on Netflix. Bonus number 4, the 3 months of coaching, support, your network, all of the things are valued at $17,600. And so let's go over it one more time. Bonus number 1 is your exclusive access to premium design bundle resources where you'll get access to my top 4 vendors, plus DIY options to give you a little bit more flexibility. This gives you just direct access to trusted vendors. Do not just work with any interior designer. I have two members of our community who have, and right now they're going to court. So you don't want that headache. Take heed, my dear friends. I want to make sure that you're getting the best deal and the best quality. The vendors that we leverage are using high quality products like West Elm, Pottery Barn, but at a discounted wholesale rate, which is amazing. Bonus number two is the six-figure midterm rental workshop, our A to Z blueprint to your whole future in midterm rental insurance sector. So enjoy lifetime access to this course content as well as all future updates as we continue to update it in this evolving market. Bonus number three is the midterm rental arbitrage templates package. Streamline your negotiations, my friend, and make sure that you have the right leases, the addendums, all of the arrangements, ready to use agreements to ensure that you have the clarity from a legal standpoint in the back of your hand. So save time and save all of the hassle that is associated with this process by just copying and pasting from the template in our resource library. Swipe those files, use them as your own, but be sure to know that our attorney put them together based on our needs, but you want to make sure that your attorney looks at them as well. Bonus number four, exclusive 3-month coaching and support. This is your opportunity to really elevate your business with expert guidance. So we have 18 tailored coaching sessions. You get to participate and work with these experts. So the expert led, including me, we're going to cover every aspect of your midterm rental business. You get to gain insight, strategy, actionable advice, including personalized group coaching with me, yours truly. So what does it cost to work with me? And you know what? I actually did not even mention the pricing. So bonus number one is at $997. Bonus number two is at $49.97. Bonus number three is $29.97. And bonus number four is listed at $17,600. Total value for all of the bonuses is $40,091. So what does it cost to work with me? Ever since we had been featured on Netflix, we actually are a magnet, I feel like, for more shows. So there's another show that we are being casted for called Overnight Riches. And there's one more show that I am not allowed to speak on. We get a lot of requests to train and to speak. And what we charge for 10 hours worth of training with me is $10,000 per hour of virtual training with me. So you get over 10 hours of training inside of the workshop as well as the MTR Arbitrage Academy. So over $100,000. Now, is it worth $100,000 to work with me? Well, let me share a little bit more about how we work and what we charge to work with us. So when I go out to do some keynote speaking, I charge $15,000 for 1 hour of keynote speaking, plus accommodations, hotel, flight. And every time I fly out for keynote, not only do I ask for high-end accommodations, I do ask for first class because I'm being sent away from my family. I'm not there to check on homework. And I have to make sure that someone's in place to handle all these things. So I do try to avoid going out as much as possible. And I'm probably going to be doubling my price soon. But when I do go out, do my absolute very best. So my question to you is, do you think it's worth 22,000 plus for me to go out to do keynote speaking? I'll let you know in a moment. Okay, so I used to charge $9,000 an hour to work with individuals one-on-one on a VIP basis with a minimum of 2 hours to do underwriting and to evaluate property. Now, I no longer offer one-on-one sessions, but when I did, it was about $18,000 for those sessions. Is it worth it for you to invest in MTR arbitrage for $18,000? Let's start off with Doctors Hasina and Ryan. He stated that it was well worth over $100,000 to work with me because he received $100,000 in bookings prior to closing on their very first property. Prior to closing on their very first property. The purchase price of this property is $410,000. Look at these numbers, right? Michael Crockett, he actually attended one of my $22,000 keynotes and he earned $87,000 for his first booking on his MTR arbitrage. So Michael says, yeah, absolutely. It was worth it for the vendor to pay 20 on that keynote. Rachel Balkovec, the very first female coach for the New York Yankees, says, yes, absolutely. It was worth paying $18,000 for 2 one-on-one sessions with me to underwrite her property, where she earned $24,000 of booking before closing on the property and this beautiful property that you see right here. So the total value for this jam-packed special founding members is a little over $40,091. This is everything you will need to equip you to launch your initial or next midterm rental wealth arbitrage property and get it cash flowing within 30 days. But what's the investment? Now, let me ask you this. What if the Midterm Rental Arbitrage Academy could give you a wealth investment that could provide a consistent $5,000 to $10,000 a month? Would it be worth investing in 91 one time for such a return? You know what? I believe it would. But what if the Academy could offer you even more? Imagine achieving a healthier work-life harmony, more quality time with your newborn, like Carolyn, one of the members of our community, who was able to spend some precious time with her baby and not have to run back to work. Would a $40,091 investment be worth it to gain that level of flexibility and freedom? You know what? Without a doubt, I would say so myself. I know that when my nanny was the first name that my kids recognized or knew, they called her name before they called my name, to be able to go back. And it reminds me of Sophia. She's another member of our community who was able to leverage this midterm rental strategy and generate an extra $80,000 that she was able to put towards purchasing her property just 4 months after getting started. The fact is, many of our members who learned this strategy get their investment back within 2 to 3 months of launching, making the $40,091 investment decision just a no-brainer. But I am on a mission to empower 1,000 families to generate meaningful revenue and achieve financial freedom by the end of 2024. So the fantastic news is you will not be charged $40,091. We are committed to making this program as accessible as possible. We're only charging $89.97. Sign up or book your call if you have questions and take advantage of this discounted price by going to mtrarbitrage.com. The price will increase again. Now you guys are taking advantage of the after party pricing. And for those of you who have already purchased workshop, your pricing is going to be far less than that. And they're listed here. Go to mtrarbitrage.com, get on a call with Carol, and she'll be sure to take care of you. We're also adding an extra special bonuses if you join while you're here on the call today, the MTR Wealth Replay Bundle, where I am going to provide you the replay of the MTR versus STR SmackDown back in February, as well as the live recordings of our 2023 live event. So the recordings and speaker presentations for those who joined us in Park City, Utah, and for those who just joined us recently in Destin, Florida, such a transformation. You get the expert insights for these amazing guest speakers, this lineup of renowned individuals in the industry where we deep dive really into tax strategy, property design, developing your financial management systems, operations, furniture procurement. And this was such a well-produced video where you have over 7.5 hours of exclusive footage that you could just kind of listen to on the go. And you get to review that content at your own pace. You could listen to it all at once and binge watch it or just review it when you want because you'll get access to the replay. So I don't want you to have missed out on this event that we just held. When we go in with our live events. We just have a bunch of amazing speakers. And so although you may not have had the opportunity to attend our event, you'll get to relive all of the strategies, all of the insights from our premier speakers at the event. Very high quality videography, very high quality speakers. But not only do you get one, but you will have access to 2 MTR retreat events. So we held one in August 2023. Our next one is in December 2023. So double the insights, double the learnings. You get to review the content at your own pace and at your own convenience. I want to ensure you do not miss out on this valuable opportunity where we talk everything tax strategy, finances, operations. Just our events are absolutely amazing. And last but not least, our MTR versus STR Expert Smackdown replay. Back in February of 2023, we had the ultimate showdown between midterm rental experts versus short-term rental expert, where we went in depth into equipping our attendees to understand a range of diverse perspectives and strategies within midterm rentals, whether it was government contracts, travel medical professionals, relocation experts. I want you to get your hands on this replay, but it goes away. These are disappearing bonuses, expiring bonuses. It goes away very, very soon. And again, I am crossing my fingers for you, my dear friends, and hoping that you can get access. Email concierge@shorttermgems.com. And if you're ready to book your call and sign up, go to mtrarbitrage.com. That's www.mtrarbitrage.com. mtrarbitrage.com. And I look forward to seeing you on the inside. I love you to the moon and back, my dear friends. This concludes our masterclass for today. I want to emphasize to you that this academy is a game changer for busy professionals who are wanting to start with real estate and who may be finding that there are roadblocks standing in the way of them securing a property. This is the only training of its kind that focuses on repositioning your strategy to attract premium, high end insurance guests. And this is aimed to put you in alignment because I want to give you your ROE, return on energy, return on enjoyment, gives you an opportunity to get more time freedom, time capital, the ability to generate an additional amount of revenue, nearly passive income. But furthermore, it'll give you the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of families that are desperately in need. I believe this academy will change your business. It will change your life. It's an opportunity I do not want you to miss out on. Once again, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today for this masterclass. And I look forward to seeing you on the inside of the Live Academy. I love you to the moon and back. Goodbye for now.